What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Seth, and we are back again for some more Trove to Trove on Xbox Uno. Now, of course, the video is gonna say that it's PS4, but we're playing on the Xbox. For all intents and purposes, though, it's the same game, even though we're all on different servers. How y'all doing today, though, folks? Hope you're doing fantastically wonderful. Hope this video makes your day even a post-SSAO false. I gotta remember to turn that off at the beginning of like every single video. I personally really don't like that setting in general, but if you're curious about that, links in the description telling you about all that craziness. How y'all doing though, folks? I really hope that this video is going to make your day a little bit better, and I would also appreciate you to make my day a little bit better and hit that like button, even though, does the like button even do anything nowadays? I don't even know. But we got some insane news, everybody. So the club has been exploding lately on console. We got a couple new officers coming around, and in general, lots and lots of builds going on too. You can see we actually have quite a few different biomes starting to set up, and as far as I hear from everybody, it seems that this is one of the most active clubs on console right now. I mean, I don't know if it is, but we'll see what ends up happening. Now, if you're wondering why it took a few days for another episode to come out, I'm sorry about that, folks. If you didn't end up checking my vlog video, I am actually very sick, very under the weather right now. And because of it, I kind of had just been spending all of my extra time building mini games on the PC version of Trove, and also building and working on the hub in JubJub. And I'd say it's pretty done, even though it's a little bit uggles. It's still, as far as a console build is concerned, I'm satisfied with it. Outside of, you know, I need gold blocks to adorn each of the corners, and I need the shoji recipe from the neon biome to fill up the windows, stuff like that. But we'll go through that in a minute, because I wanted to just go over here and just kind of show you everybody's been setting up a little bit more in the architect town over here. This building ended up getting destroyed as we placed this new biome down, but then it ended up getting fixed. Also, by the way, to whoever's been leaving these primal green blocks right here, you can actually go to the organic block section and just get Highlands dirt. It takes like an orange block, and then you can place that on the ground for all these sections, by the way, and then the grass will actually grow in like this, and it's all beautiful and stuff, right? It's all the connecting blocks though. So for today, rather than doing tutorial stuff, obviously we're just gonna kind of mess around and hang out, and I'm gonna let you all know what's been going on. I really like this little place right here. That's a cool build. J1 is coming to get me. Also, be careful about this, whoever's been building this. I know that you like those blocks, but if you press the activation button on them, it's just gonna turn them into a giant waterfall. I know by saying that, some freak is probably gonna end up doing that, but now that I do have a wireless keyboard, you know, it's been helping me out with keeping track of all the commands and stuff like that, and seeing like who's griefing, who's doing what and stuff like that. So anyways, before we get started with the tour of the hub here, and then of course just go kill some stuff, I wanted to give a shout out to quite a few people. Tobin10 ended up giving me a couple S1 items. Cole Gwen 05 ended up giving me 4 chaos chests. We're gonna actually open a bunch of boxes today on console, just because why not? JT Vivian 56, huge shout out to you, dude, because he ended up helping me out. He or she, it's Vivian, right? But ended up helping me out with the bulk of the construction of this building. Fall of Pluto as well. He ended up laying down the base foundation, and then I just kind of finished it all in one sitting with JT, and JT had like all of the blocks, so it was very, very helpful. And then I'm a fix for donating a lot of the Uber portals that are inside. Probably gonna promote him up to officer very soon, just because of course him giving those resources means that this is kind of his main club, right? So he's gonna be focused on it. So here's the main room. It looks a little bit more cozy now because we actually have the whole roof covering the top. Shadow portals over here. The realm portal. I put all the benches over here. All the crafting types of benches over here. These are kind of like the utility ones that you use in adventuring and stuff like that. Ooh, rune crafting. I should talk about that in another video very, very soon when we go, when we start going to the Skyland. I'm gonna make like a proper tutorial focused on all of the radiant shards and stuff like that. Then you come upstairs, you're met with the novice portal immediately, and then all the way to the end. We have up to U8 right now, which is 5,000 PR. Insane that we got that much. We do not have the U9 portal, however, and actually it looks like I may have to move all of these over by one once we do get the U9 portal, and then it's the water portals all set up over here. Then there's going to be the air portals, then the fire portals, and finally the shadow portals, and that's going to be the end. And then otherwise, that's already the entirety of this build. It just took like 50 zillion years to do. Put a bunch of rejuvenation stations in the center here, as well as this is pretty much like, once you get to the Trove end game, these are the only tables that you actually need, because you need to forge, you need to deconstruct, you need to access your personal chest to put stuff in it, and every now and then you need to access an adventurer's crafting bench. Especially because the version of Trove that we're running right now, we're gonna need, you know, flux expanders, or not flux expanders, the ones for storing flux, right? Because on the PC version, of course, it's updated and you can actually just store like your flux is actually just in a separate inventory tab. And I kind of keep telling people about this. Why? Okay, that's weird. But you got to keep that in mind. Like, a lot of the updates that are going on with the PC, while console players might not think that it's relevant, I would say to keep your eyes open. And honestly speaking, I would say to keep track of the patch videos that I have for the PC version of Trove, because that does concern console players. Because once those updates end up hitting, you know, I don't know whether or not, like, if all the updates for the console end up hitting at once, am I really gonna do like an hour-long patch video? Probably, and just kind of talk about the bulk content. But the biggest thing is just that, like, it's like, if all the PC updates hit console at once, I mean, that's going to be a whole lot of content, and it's also going to change the way that this game is very drastically. Like, right now, you can pay real money for classes. Honestly speaking, I would say to hold on if you can for like 5-6 months, or however long it takes them to actually get the update, because whenever they do, PC update, classes are free. I know I just kind of keep talking about that stuff, but hey, whatever. There's also a couple secret things that are going on, just as far as the Trove on console, you know, with emblems, but that's already gonna get hot fixed very, very soon. Let's actually open up some of these chests. Hopefully we can get some good RNG on them. I honestly don't think we will. I should probably be selling these adventure chests rather than trying to open them, because the chances of actually getting stuff out of them is just insane, except for this one, which actually is one of the only adventure chests that has a karma bar. And the 4 chaos chests, does this guy actually give us anything? Nope, Pearl of Wisdom, which isn't really useful. And then I also want to show you too, off camera, I ended up actually going through the rest of the Shadow Towers. I do want to do the Shadow Tower bosses on camera with all of you for sure, but for right now, I just did my weekly Shadow Tower just because, like I said, I've been very under the weather and very sick, and because of it, like, I kind of have just been taking my own time to grind, like, just the usual stuff off camera rather than doing it in a video. But needless to say, yeah, I finished Weeping Prophet, Vengeful Pinata, and Daughter of the Moon all off camera, and with it I ended up spending our Lunar Soul to get my hands on an Empowered Gem box, which ended up giving me this water gem right here, which looks disgusting, by the way. It's only a radiant one, so I don't know if I'm gonna bother leveling it up. Maybe I will later, just so that we can get the extra PR. Okay, that was a cool looking style for some reason, but needless to say, yeah, like I said in my gear or stats and power rank video and stuff like that, I'm going to be focusing my attention on just getting the raw power rank, because honestly speaking, if at any point I want to actually grind, you just leech with people. Lots of people were actually asking and telling me, like in our Discord channel, links in the description for that, where they were saying like, dude, I'm trying to get all PR and nothing but PR, but I'm dying. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty normal, honestly speaking. You're not going to end up having the ideal stats while you're focused on your power rank. That's why fight as a group. That's what it's all about, folks, is trying to fight as a group. Let's see, what did we end up getting here? 100 cubits for completing a badge. Okay. I also missed my daily login badge because I ended up getting like hardcore sick. And not to mention, I've also been very, very busy, like, needless to say, you know, whatever holidays you end up celebrating, there you go, folks. But, you know, for myself personally, yeah, it's all Christmas and stuff like that. Needless to say, because of real life circumstances, you know, a lot of my family was like out of town or busy with work and stuff like that. So only now, like as I'm putting this video out to all of you, we're actually celebrating our family Christmas because, you know, a couple people ended up coming over and flying over and stuff like that. So because of that, I've been really, really busy. Now, on the side, you know, I've spent a lot of time doing like that build in the hub that actually took like a couple hours. I hate console building, dude. Like, it's insane. I can't even believe how bad console building is. Console players, be warned. The building on PC is just 10 times faster. It's not that it's like hardcore, like, ew, I don't want to build anything on the console. It's just, why would I when I can just build on the PC, you know? It's just, I'm very spoiled being a PC player and coming onto the console. Also, I want to mention as well, because lots and lots of people have been asking, and I know, I desperately want to do that. That's going to be one of the big video projects that I'm going to try and work on very, very soon as I'm better. I mean, I'm doing okay right now. I can actually speak in my commentating volume without feeling like I'm going to hurl. But needless to say, lots of you have been asking what, you know, first it was asking about just the basic stats in general, and I had a stat overview kind of talking about stats and power rank and what it all does, not to mention Magic Find, right? But lots of people still have been asking what stats to focus on and what stats not to focus on with specific classes. Now, while I do already have videos about that, links in the description again, I do realize that the one video that I do have talking about the stats that you should and shouldn't get on all the classes, I actually have that as like a big bulk video that kind of explains every class one at a time in a row. And I know that not everybody has the time for that, so I'm definitely planning on doing like a console update, like kind of a, you know, a more up-to-date video that's going to talk about each of the classes in general, you know, like one at a, like, not one at a time in one video. So there's going to be like one separate side video that's going to talk about the knight, one that's going to talk about the gunslinger and stuff. And of course, certain classes, you know, I don't really know how to build them 110% because I don't really play them that often, but I do know like a lot of it is from my own personal first-hand experience, but also from what I've heard from other people, and also other people that I talk with regularly, like friends and stuff that experiment. Like Merc, for example, has been a huge help, Merc underscore on the PC. He's been a huge help with me understanding how a lot of the classes end up actually working as far as their damage is concerned, just because he's been swapping his gems over. Like, that's the thing, folks. Once you get to the end game, if you have a physical set, you can pretty much have a physical set of gear for all your characters because you can just swap it at any time, including the gems. It's very expensive and very time consuming because the regeminators, but honestly speaking, folks, it is definitely a possibility. That is, in fact, how most people on the leaderboards end up actually like sniping out the top classes and stuff, at least on PC, not so much on console just yet. On console, it's pretty much whoever's you know, top 10 for classes. Most of them are pay to win, while a lot of them are just grinding that hard. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say pay to win is an excuse, folks. I have nothing against that. You know, I'm just saying that it's like most of the people are going to be pay to win because of all the gem boosters and stuff like that. Like, it's like not only just myself just not spending as much time, as much of my own personal time grinding as I could, for sure, but at the same time, being a free-to-play player means that, you know, we don't get as much experience points because of the, you know, not having patron or anything like that, right? Also, one thing I do want to mention in closing, folks, just before we wrap up for today, because I'm noticing we're getting on time here, is to keep in mind, as far as the PC updates, again, that are going to eventually come to console, I want you to keep this in mind. On the PC version of Trove, they finally, only like a month or two ago, ended up having an update that balanced out the total amount of XP needed to get to the max level. And because of that, like, it's made a huge difference. You know, if anybody's playing on the console right now and you're sitting there thinking, man, it gets grindy after level 20, even more grindy after level 25. Now, on PC, they fixed that. It took them way too long to do it, but they finally fixed that. And the only reason I'm talking about it is I'm just saying, like, if you're sitting here and you're thinking, oh my goodness, it takes a million years to end up grinding to max level. Yeah, well, when that update finally ends up coming to console, don't worry, because it actually makes the grinding a lot more balanced and a lot more of a nice curve. But anyways, that's all the time that we have for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed. You know, kind of just wanted to rush out a video today, honestly. But don't worry, we're going to have like a whole bunch of different tutorials coming out very, very soon. I'm just trying to, you know, kind of take it easy on myself while, you know, just being careful with all of this sickness that's going on. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Very much appreciate it. And thank you so much for the positivity and support. As I'm recording this video right now, I'm actually at 79K subs, even though I just put out a video talking about 70K subs. And by the time this video's out, we might even be at 80K. So I seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for subscribing and being a fan and actually being so supportive with all your comments and stuff like that. I don't get to reply to the comments. I still do get to read them, and it just means the world to me that people are actually like so fond of my content, you know. And it's just, it really is awesome that I can help all of you guys and gals as well, because I know that Trove is a very, very confusing game, isn't it? But otherwise, yeah, the one thing I do want to say in closing is that video where I talked about like the different graphical settings on the console. Yeah, even if I put the settings all low and I appear online, I still get like 5 frames per second. So unfortunately, console players, I am going to still like show up online and stuff like that every now and then, but I'm going to be appearing offline for the majority of it. So you can still join me through the Jub Club for sure. But yeah, as far as random adventuring goes, RIP. Thanks for watching though, folks. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Sign over and stay epic, everybody.